Hey, how we doing out there? First things first, my name is Kenneth, creator of Supreme Ambient Rejection Screen Paint using Ambient Rejection technology. Again, I'm getting these tests started off a little earlier. So, I already have in my possession, since we could not obtain the Frankenstein mix or any other screen paints we tried to get from Mr. Crow, which he canceled right from the door. We do have the Frankenstein, we have the UV mix, and we have Crow's personal mix. So, we're going to be going through a lot of screen paints this week. I just ordered another projector a few minutes ago. I just ordered another short throw, NEC projector a few minutes ago. Got it for 150 bucks. That'll be here really soon. And I also ordered from that company called Nox. I think it's NOX, whatever it's called. I ordered about a gallon of this screen paint will be coming too also. So let's see how the UV mix basically looks in white levels and black levels next to our blue technology, which is using that color-coded technology capability. So over here, to make sure we got enough power for this demonstration, we're going to use the Christie Big Boy 4300 lumens, 1920 by 1200. This is my Christie W420. Now I'm already displaying some white scenery right here, as you can see. This is the UV mix, which we marked already to get it ready for the demonstrations. And this is the white level on blue. I told you blue pulls one of the highest white levels of any screen paint we design. Look at the difference. So we're going to be doing some demonstrations on white levels and black levels. Like I said, these are tests that are going to be coming up in the next couple of days. Not going to do anything for tomorrow because tomorrow's going to be Thanksgiving. Pretty sure you don't be bombarding your phone with videos on Thanksgiving. I plan to take the day off and probably go into my gaming room and do some gaming. So let's get this first one started and then we'll move on from there. I have a friend who's going to be obtaining the Frankenstein mix very soon. So if you find it hard to be able to get paints from him because he's going to be doing some extreme screening, this may be the reason why. All right, so let me get something on real quick so we can get these demonstrations and get started. Oh, here somewhere. I'll find it later on. All right, first things first. Get something to eat my food, my dinner right now. We're going to start off with white levels first. See exactly which technology produces the highest white level. So let's go back to the beginning of this video. Let's begin. As you see, the screen is not pulling contrast either. So it's not pulling contrast and it's definitely not pulling a white level. So this is how the UV mix comes up. As you can see, how the image is muddy and dirty. It's not pure. The color is supposed to be pure. It's supposed to be natural. I'll leave this right here. Now you can't get any more clean cut than this. We have a screen paint. We have a projector. We have a screen, fully lit environment. This is how we get our reaction should be look like. So bottom line is, it produces color. It does that, no problem. But the white levels suffer a lot. As you can see next to blue technology. As I said before, this is A15. This is more advanced than anything we have right now. For those of you that are big cravers of white levels, well, blue is going to be fantastic for you. See how dingy the colors come up? Colors are supposed to be clean and they're supposed to be white. They're not supposed to be dingy. Let's go back here a minute. Just a minute. Let me go back a little bit there. On her face. said before, this is a 4300 lumen Christie projector. This is a top tier. And as I said before, you can see right there the difference between Blue's white level capability. Mind you, this is a screen blue with color coding technology, which means it can read color when other screen paints can't read color. I'll let you look at that for a minute. I gotta go grab something real quick. Now, next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing some demonstrations, like I said, on different forms of screen paints. I've made orders for other products, other projection screen samples that will be coming in. My other new YouTube channel will be doing demonstrations against outdoor projection screens versus black technology, because we plan to put that on the map next year. Yes, I have actually several business partners that are actually coming in line to work for my company, because I told you I'm planning to take this to another level. And in order for us to get for a lot of feathers. Everything that I got, basically, that I've been working on, all my little secrets, they're going to be coming out. I'm going to be designing some amazing technology. Yeah, the corn is supposed to look natural, not too yellow. Look at a white shirt. Look at his skin tone. That's what I wanted to pause on right there. Let me go back this a little bit. There you go. That's what I want to pause on. You're going to transparent that. So the problem is that they don't have a high enough white level, and those white levels will start to suffer. Now, for those of you who are probably asking me, well, how would I know that? Because I know for a fact in my older screen paints that I used to make, this is one of the problems we used to constantly run into. The white levels, we couldn't get them to peak. This is older stuff we used to develop back then. Now, compared to looking at older videos back then, compared to the technology we design now, we can see basically we got our white levels to the point where they needed to be at, especially with black technology also too. Now, as you notice with our black screens, we can blend screens like this with no problem when it comes to white levels, snow levels, green, blues, orange, easily. Everybody keeps thinking when it comes to a black screen, the key thing is contrast. It's going to be to produce contrast. The key thing for a black screen is a white level, and the key thing for a gray screen is key string for a black screen is a white level, and the key string for a gray screen is a black level. But blue, on the other hand, is a little complicated because the surface is blue. So what category would you put that in? There is no category for it, because technically there's not supposed to be anything such thing as a blue screen. Because the first thing someone's going to think is the screen's blue, all it's going to do is pick up the color blue. This screen can pick up a white level that's so high that basically it makes a gray screen, it turns it tan. You learn from your past. That's what I've learned. I had a company called Onyx when we first started developing black technology. And that's when I realized that the white levels wasn't about the contrast on the screen. It was more of the white levels. That's where the key was at. Once you figure out how to work that, everything else becomes a cakewalk. Now, if you notice, both screens are basically being hit with the same amount of light from the projector, from the environment. We're going to do this with every last sample sheet we get our hands on. Every last projection screen will have to go through the exact same testing. You see how bone white that screen is? When I was trying to explain to you that it's called color coding reading technology, and you're thinking, it's not possible. It's a blue screen producing a high white level, which means that projector right now is putting out a pure white level, and that screen's picking it up. This one can't pick it up. There you go. back a little farther. Let's go over to some bone white. Notice the different white levels in the dog, down to his mane, the color of the skin, the back of his tail. It only picks up one dark color. It can't even pick up shades of white. And I explain to people that you don't want to go against certain technology, just leave it be. Trust me when I tell you that. Let's bring in an all-white screensaver. We'll completely take all the abstract out, and we can bring in an all-white screensaver from the door. So let's bring in a white screensaver. So we'll take away all the distraction, and we're just bringing solid white. And there is solid white and an all-white screensaver. If you want to get a little closer, and we'll bring it back. Let's bring in some clouds. It remains the same because it can't read white levels. That'd be different if my screen was black and I pulled a contrast level. Well, then that's easy because it's a black screen. It's going to have the ability to pull contrast level. It's black. This is blue. Screen can pull black levels. The screen maintains the exact same color through white and through black. It never changes. So here we are, we have a blue screen that's pulling a high white level and a contrast level back and forth, where the gray screen, UV mix, stays the exact same state. Through black or white, it still stays gray. Now, keep in mind, this is a cakewalk for the technology. I mean, the bigger screens are going to react the same way. If they're anywhere near these shades, it's going to have a problem. If we take the Crow's personal mix, this is going to pull a higher contrast level. It's a blue screen, but this is a gray screen. So we get something here for this. Now keep in mind, I have two other screen paints coming in. from two other companies to actually purchase from. They were going to be doing side by sides of their screen paint versus the personal mix to see exactly how close they come to that particular screen paint. Because, like I said, I'm pretty sure they're all going to react the same way. And then we're going to take all those and put them all on one sample sheet, and we're going to put those against our technology to show you that they're all going to react the same way as when we do contrast, when we do different colors and all the other stuff, that it's all going to react the same way. The reason why, like I said, those orders were canceled because, like I said, we don't do the dim environments and all the other nonsense. Our tests are pretty brutal. So if our screens can go through it, I'm pretty sure anyone else who's comparing their stuff to us can go through the exact same process. And if they can't, then the bottom line is they're going to refuse at all costs to try to keep from actually being under this certain situation. But just because we couldn't obtain your product doesn't mean we already don't have it. We just want to do those particular ones. It's not going to stop the demonstrations at all whatsoever. So just to take things to another level, I'm using blue technology to outperform your screen. To show you that I can actually take a code and stick it into a screen, even though it's blue, and change the levels from white to black, and they will actually change when your screen will always remain the same spot, the same way, without change. I'm gonna leave it there, let you guys take it in. Now, keep in mind, this is the same grade screen that we put against the 12. The 12 was able to blend it and outperform it in contrast. We put the same screen against the black silver. The black silver was able to blend it, outperform it in contrast with no problem. We were able to take the black silver and throw the black silver against the black screen, and the black screen was able to blend the black silver, knowing it was lighter than the black itself, producing an amazing contrast, which our screens can't catch up to when it comes to the 12, but the 12 is bright enough to blend into other screens that are lighter than it. Yet the blue is a blue surface that can produce a higher white level and contrast level than a screen that's gray. You figure that one out. Now, if that baffles you right there, the technology we're working on for 2021 is way beyond this stuff right here. Because now, since we got that screen outside that took that direct hit from sunlight, that lets me know that I'm on a road of actually designing a liquid gain that pretty much, if we decide to sell this stuff as a form of booster for your screen, you could spray this on your screen, and this would enhance your screen's gain capability by giving it the ability to be able to produce images outside in the sunlight, which we proved when we did that demonstration against that little sample sheet outside. But that's not what we're going to do. We're going to integrate this color coding technology we have here into that gain booster that we designed for outside and make one perfect screen. Which means the end of ambient light rejection, all that other nonsense where you can't use your screen in a fully lit environment. Doesn't make a difference if your projectors have to be calibrated, none of that nonsense. You just gotta see the big picture, the big picture. Until then, before the blue launches, we're going to test against every screen that we can get our hands on to see how many can come close to it. Because not just for you guys, but for me, I have to know. I have to know. Let's blah, 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 blah. Let me grab something real quick. Now, I would love, trust me, I would love for Screen Innovation to throw their hat in the ring, but they're not going to do that. The screens are gunmetal. I've seen their technology before. to the left out of the equation, dark star 9. See that surface? The problem with the dark star 9 is the fact that it has a reflective surface material. They use that basically to boost the gain on the screen. That's what the reflective surface is for. The downside of it is that any form of ambient light in the environment that's not ambient light controlled actually heightens the screen. It actually makes it look lighter than what it actually is. If I pull the sample sheet and put it in front of your face, it looks dark. If I take it back there, it looks lighter. That's too high of a reflective surface. It's actually washing out its own contrast capabilities. Where the UV mix doesn't have a reflective surface, it's just paint. Well, it's more than just studying. We'll remove the dark star 9 off. Now see this, wow, this reacts better. These are designed for long throw projectors. Short throw projectors, that's why we're not using the short throw projector. Short throw projector, that's going to turn jet black. We'll have a problem. So that'll be dishoned toward the whatchamacallit. Now I know the Frankenstein mix is kind of like a bit of a it's a bit of a darker gray than this. It's not dark gray. It's not the color of that. It's kind of like a mid gray. We'll put the personal mix up here. I don't know where in the world this would actually play a part in anything. I hate to say this in home theater. It's too bright of a color. It's almost like equivalent to the cinema gray. The cinema grays are around that color. They don't pull contrast. They pull high white levels. It's kind of like an upgrade version of a white screen. That's where they kind of fall in that. So they can't pull the white levels. They can pull very high white levels. Very good high white levels. That will pull a high white level, a good one, because of the color of it. But then again, like I said, when the other screens come in, they're probably around the same color. They'll probably react the exact same way. But without contrast, pretty much, that's pretty much everything to a screen. You have to have contrast. Now that's sitting right in front of an ultra short throw projector that has a 10,000 to 1 contrast level. This is blue technology on my gaming screen right now. The armor doesn't even come up black. Majority of most gaming is contrast levels. Contrast levels are involved in just, if contrast levels weren't important, and I love when people sit there and say, oh, you don't need contrast, then why in the world would you be buying a projector with a 10,000 or 20,000 to 1 contrast rating on it if your contrast is not important? Why would you even bother putting it on there? People sit there and say, oh, ambient light rejection is not important. Oh, yes, it is. That's the reason why, when most of the demonstrations are done on screens like this, it has to be done in the dark. Any form of light that comes on the environment, that screen automatically washes out. That screen has a better chance with the lights out. See what I mean? That's where you'll be at. Any kind of lighting that comes in the environment, anything you're watching, anything in dark contrast, and dark contrast is embedded in everything you watch, that screen's going to come up gray. Even in the dark, that screen comes out gray. Okay, so we're gonna have to do some, like I said, I'll have to wait until the other surfaces get in. Like I said, I got 2 more of the screen paints coming in. I did buy me another ultra short throw projector. Actually, one actually more advanced than that one over there. Got a good price for $1.50, so that's good. I'm going to be swapping out my projectors. I'm going to put the other one, that's an XGA. I got a WXGA. I got a higher model than that one. Now I'm going to leave that one there. I'm going to use the WXGA for testing. So we're going to use that for definitely ultra short throw testing, stuff like that. I'm going to buy me a couple more dummy old projectors. And we're going to do some testing outside and inside, okay? Because I'm going to show you where ambient light rejection is needed. It's a must. If it wasn't a must, you would have all these big companies labeling ambient light rejection certified all over their screens if it wasn't a must. So we're going to take these down for now. They're no longer needed. The light's back on. So anyone sits there and tells you, oh, no, ambient light rejection is not needed. Well, yeah, it is. Every projection screen you see that's certified has ambient light rejection attached to it. Because that is the way to go. You have to have it. The reason why people tell you it's not needed, or tell you it's not ambient light rejection, because if you buy that screen print or that product and your screen does not do well with lights on, they can say, well, hey, it's not ambient light rejection. You know, I told you that. But we're going to bring out, let's see, so we got to get a white screen in here soon, so I got to order me a white screen. We're going to take the white screen, we're going to take a lot of these gray screens and stuff like that, see how close they come to a white screen. I mean, some of them come pretty close, you just might as well just go out and just paint your wall white. Then we're going to get some bare silver screen. We're going to get some primer, stuff like that, to see how close they come to the primer. Which means if that's the case, then you could have went out and spent $23 and just got yourself a gallon of primer paint and threw it against your wall and was done with it. Every time it flashes, it'll show it's blue. That's what I find interesting about it. The blue screen that produces red. People feel that the lighter screens produce higher and brighter colors. I get that a lot. Hold on a minute, I'm sorry about that for walking away like that. I do apologize for walking away like that because you can't hear me when I walk out of the room. I do apologize. Now, some people feel that a lighter the screen is, the better the color is going to be. It's going to be much more brighter, more vivid color because the white levels are higher. I keep telling you, that's a bad sign. That's a very bad sign. So here we got a cinema gray. Nice bright color, as you can see. The levels are going to be brighter. Again, blue screen. Producing a high white level. It's not the surface. So you keep looking at the surface. That's the thing about it. They look at the surface. Oh, the surface is blue. It has nothing to do with the surface. It's what's in the coating. That's what you have to see. You have to look beyond the color. That's why when I showed you the UV mix, it didn't change. The white screen became bright, the UV mix became gray. The black became black, the UV mix became gray. You can't read it. Where the screen right here, you think because it's a lighter screen, it's going to produce a much brighter image. No, it's always going to remain a faded color. No matter what color I change it to, it's always going to remain the same. So because they think the UV mix or personal mix, because it's a lighter gray, it's going to produce much brighter colors. going to react the exact same way as the other screen. Take our lights out. And look how bright and vivid the red pushes through that blue. See how it always remains the same because it can't read. It's an illiterate screen. You know, the surface is blue and it's reading every last color that's popping up with no problem, without calibrating the projector at all. Well, that's about it for tonight. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll be back on probably around Saturday because I got a busy day tomorrow. I got a bunch of orders that just popped in. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say from here. Like I said, in my videos, I don't call anybody scammer or trash or garbage. I'll let you decide. You can see it all for yourself right from there. So like I said, since Blue's going to be launching very soon, we're going to be testing, like I said, against just about everything we can get our hands on. And then from there, who knows? We might have something else besides a Blue. Keep in mind, the Blue will not have the name Supreme in it. That is just a nickname. When I get done with the paperwork, with the patent pending, when we get done the paperwork with the copyrights, it will have has to have a different identity by itself. And if it has a different identity by itself, that means there are going to be other ones just like it pretty soon. So you're kind of getting a look at kind of what we're working on in 2021 when you think about it. You even get a chance to test run it when Blue actually comes available. All right, with that being said, thank you all for your time. I have to go, and God bless.